Hey everybody, back again. So, diving in again, a father's role is to protect his children, and most importantly, to protect his daughters. A father's role is to have a real relationship with the Lord, a biblical relationship and understanding the Bible, and the ability to guide and lead his family, his wife, and his children into understanding what it means to deal with the negativity in the world. But also, a father's role is to prepare his son to be the man to take on a wife. And a father's role is to prepare the daughter to be, to prepare the daughter to feel relaxed that his choice for choosing a husband for her is the right one. The problem is, not every parent has this real understanding that that's part of their role. And society and worldly views have changed that once more, let's just say, Messianic or Jewish upbringing that has fallen away, and arranged marriages are now more uncommon, and people are doing what they want to do in their selfish reasons and worldly reasons for what they want, and they're choosing marriages based on a fleshly nature instead of a godly and biblical nature. So if your own father was not guiding you in the way of, protection, then guess what happens to those daughters? Those daughters are then hanging out in the ethers. What I mean by that is, if you don't have your father looking out for your best interests and trying to place you in a healthy, safe marriage with a biblical, godly guy who's going to guide you and direct you and create strength and unity together, then that woman is then hanging out on her own. So then in the family dynamic, which is dysfunctional, where there might be alcoholism, drug addiction, narcissism, or all of the above, if you're a woman, if you're a daughter, and you don't have a proper relationship with your own biological father, then what happens is, when you go out in the world as a teenager and you're a beautiful woman, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get attacked. You're going to get attacked because your father didn't teach you properly. He didn't warn you of what spiritual and physical warfare was out there. He didn't prepare you for the battle. He didn't teach you how to pray and how to use the Word of God to fight your battles on your knees. If he didn't do that, then basically you're out there living in the world in a worldly sense, alone, not knowing the consequences of your being disconnected and separated, that guess what? You then soon become under curses because you don't know what you're doing. You think you're going the right way, but you're not, because everything that you're drawn to and attracted to are all the wrong fleshly reasons. And if your biological father is of the flesh and he himself is being stuck in his own addictions of alcoholism, selfishness, narcissism, doing what he wants to do whenever he feels like doing it at the expense of everybody else around him, including his family, then guess what? You then start to create an idea as a woman, as a daughter, that nobody's got my back. And that is when I started to become more proactive in being a strong woman. And what I mean by that is I started to take self-defense classes. I started to take, work out at the gym and learn how to throw a punch. I started to learn how to use a knife. I started to learn specific skills that were generally designed for men to protect women. But I started to learn those skills because I had already been a victim of trauma, of physical abuse, of sexual abuse, and mental abuse. And I thought to myself, if I don't have somebody looking out for me, and I don't have a husband, and I don't have a boyfriend, then I'm gonna have to know how to do these things for myself. And so I started to put my focus in becoming a yoga teacher. And a yoga teacher, from the way that it was described online and through the classes that I started to take back years and years ago, it was described as yoga is a practice that helps you to become a warrior. And when I heard that, I wanted to become a strong warrior to be able to protect myself from the predators that had previously taken advantage of me. And I wanted to feel safe, that I knew how to throw a punch, how to use a knife, how to shoot a gun, and that if I was put in an uncompromising position, that I would know how to fight the battle and have victory and win against these types of predators. So I want you to understand that when I started to gain these skills, okay, I was then tested with these skills, because that's how life works. I was then tested to show my understanding of having these skills, which means that I was attacked. I was thrown up against the wall, and I had to put my reflexes in gear. Knee to the groin, punch to the head, knee to the groin, pinch, whatever, and boom, that person took their grip off of me and I ran away. So what I'm getting at is circumstances start to show up in your life so that you can practice the things that God was leading you to understand, so that you can then take the next leveling up in your life. Now, does that mean I always won? Sadly, the answer is no, because my story is also about being physically abused, sexually attacked in my own neighborhood, in my own apartment complex that had a gatekeeper and a doorman. And it didn't stop the circumstances, meaning that even though I had some of the skills for self-defense, some of those scenarios, the odds were against me. And when men are in groups, you're not going to win. I'm sorry, but sometimes that's the case, because their physical strength and quantity is going to be stronger in certain circumstances versus if it was just one-on-one, okay? But the bottom line is, all of these experiences, again, became necessary for me because I did not have a biological father who was leading me in the correct biblical way. He did not go out of his way to find me a suitable husband. He was more interested in his own selfish desires than he was in caring for his daughter and caring for his family. Now, is this the truth? Yes, it's the truth. Does it make me sad to say it out loud? Yes, it does. But my purpose is to make you understand that if you yourself are a single woman who has never been married, or who is divorced, or who is widowed, or who has gone through trauma similar to mine, or even worse than mine, you know what I'm saying. And you know that what I'm saying is true. So we need to be on the lookout for predators, people that are alcoholics, drug addicts, and narcissists, because Their desire and their tactics are to throw you off course, take control of the situation, manipulate you, and whether that's a quick, let me get what I want and sexually abuse you, or I'm going to create a fake relationship with you while I'm still having fake relationships with all these other people and stealing from everybody who's involved. The point is, we live in crazy end times. And these are the same type of things that were going on in the days of Noah and in the days of Jonah. These are the same kinds of crazy things that were going on. So, as a woman, I encourage you to invest in yourself. Invest in your self-care. Invest in learning some self-defense skills and tactics. And be on guard. And be prepared that you know how to take care of yourself in most circumstances. And that you were always thinking 5 steps ahead, because those predators, that I can guarantee for sure, they've already thought 10 steps ahead. Have a good one.